Happy New Year, Elise. Good to see
Happy
you.
New Year.
Before you start, that's okay.
I'm going to.
Well, Shabbat Shalom. Thank you for joining us tonight, the Shabbat of New Year. This Shabbat, I have a special assistant, Marlene Gordon, and she's stepped up to lead the service with me, and it's an honor. And she's leading the service in honor of her uncle, of her cousin, Kianter Elliot Dicker, who's Yortzeit tonight. So it's a special night for her and for me, and thank you for being here tonight. We'll turn to page 120. It's page 120 as we light Shabbat candles. Please sing with me. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam asher kiddushanu b'mitzvotav v'tzivanu lehadlik ner shel Shabbat. Amen. I invite Marlene to lead us in Kiddush. If you're able, please rise on page 123.
Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam borei pari hagafen.
Amen.
Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam asher kiddushanu b'mitzvotav v'ratzah banu Shabbat kadshav v'yahava u'ratzon Infilanu zikaron lema'aseh bereshit ki hu yom techila lemikra'e kodesh zecher l'tziat Mitzrayim ki banu b'charta v'yotanu Mikol ha'amim v'shabbat kashecha v'ahava uvratzon hinchaltanu Baruch atah Adonai Mekadesh HaShabbat.
Amen. L'chaim. And please be seated.
L'chaim. Please turn to page 136. A Psalm of David, ascribe to Adonai glory and strength. Ascribe to Adonai the glory of God's name. Bow down to Adonai, majestic in holiness. The voice of Adonai is over the waters, and the God of glory thunders. Adonai over the mighty waters, the voice of Adonai is power. The voice of Adonai is majesty. The voice of Adonai breaks cedars. Adonai shatters the cedars of Lebanon. God makes Lebanon skip like a calf, Syrian like a young wild ox. The voice of Adonai kindles flames of fire. The voice of Adonai convulses the wilderness. Adonai convulses the wilderness of Kadesh. The voice of Adonai causes hinds to calve and strips forests bare. While in God's temple, all say glory. Adonai sat enthroned at the flood. Adonai sits enthroned, sovereign forever. May Adonai grant strength to God's people. May Adonai bestow on God's people well-being. And please turn to page 140. A psalm for Shabbat. It is good to praise Adonai, to sing hymns to your name, O Most High, to proclaim your steadfast love at daybreak, your faithfulness each night with a 10-stringed harp, with voice and lyre together. You have gladdened me by your deeds, Adonai. I shout for joy at your handiwork. How great are your works, Adonai, how very subtle your designs. A brute cannot know, a fool cannot understand this. And together, the righteous bloom like a date palm. They thrive like a cedar in Lebanon, planted in the house of Adonai. They flourish in the courts of our God. In old age, they still produce fruit. They are full of sap and freshness, attesting that Adonai is upright, my rock in whom there is no wrong.
Please join me for Shalom Aleichem. Shalom Aleichem, Malachim Hasharet, Malachim Mi Melech Malachim Hamlakim, HaKadosh Baruch Hu. Boichem L'Shalom, Malachim Hashalom, Malachim Mi Melech Malachim Hamlakim, HaKadosh Baruch Hu. Barhuni L'Shalom, Malachi HaShalom, Malachi Elyon. Mi Melech Malachi HaMlachim, HaKadosh Baruch Hu. Tzedchem L'Shalom, Malachi HaShalom, Malachi Elyon. Mi Melech Malachim Hamlachim, HaKadosh Baruch Hu. And please join me with Hatzi Kaddish on the next page. Yitkarach v'yitkadash shmei Rabbah, ve'amad yiberach yirotei ve'emlich malchutei, b'chayechonu v'yamechon, u'chayedecho beit Yisrael, ba'gala, ba'gala, u'vizman kariv yimeru.
Amen.
Yesh meraba mevorach, lechol amolal me'amaya, yitbarach, yitbarach, v'yishtabach, v'yitpa'ar, v'yitrama, v'yitnaseh, v'yitodar, v'yitale, v'yitalal, shemei kodesham. Dela min ko birchata v'shirata, tushbechata v'nechemata, damiran me'alema, v'imeru. Amen. Please rise for Baruch, page 146. Baruch Adonai Mevorach, Baruch Adonai Mevorach,
Please turn to page 149. This is an hour of change. Within it, we stand uncertain on the border of light. Shall we draw back or cross over? Where shall our hearts turn? Shall we draw back, my brother, my sister, or cross over? This is the hour of change, and within it we stand quietly on the border of light. What lies before us? Shall we draw back, my brother, my sister, or cross over? Baruch atah Adonai, Ha'ariv Aravim. As you taught Torah to those whose names I bear, teach me Torah too. Its mystery beckons, yet I struggle with its truth. You meant Torah for me. Did you mean the struggle for me too? Don't let me struggle alone. Help me. Help me to understand, to be wise, to listen, to know. Lead me into the mystery. Baruch atah Adonai, Ohev Amo Yisrael.
Shema Yisrael, Adonai Eloheinu, Adonai Echad, Baruch Shem, Kivor Malchuta, Le'olam Vaed. Is this here? Together. V'yavta et Adonai Elohecha b'chol levacha b'chol nafshecha b'chol me'odecha v'hayu advarim ha'ele asher Elohim etzavecha hayom al levavecha v'shinatam levanecha v'dibarta b'ham בשבתך בביתך ובלכתך בדרך ובשבך קומך וקשרתם להות ידיך והיו לרקפות בין עיניך וכתבתם על מזוזות ביתך ובשעריך למען תזכרו ועשיתם את כל מצוותיי והייתם קדושים לאלוהיכם, אני אדוני אלוהיכם, אשר הוצאתי אתכם מארץ מצרים, להיות לכם לאלוהים, אני אדוני אלוהיכם.
Janet, you're host now. You got to start singing. Come on.
Which pizza, please? Which is our pizza too?
I'm not sure they know that we've been disconnected.
It sounds like you're offering to lead us, Lauren.
I would, but I don't even have a Siddur with me. I'm in Missouri. So, do you think they know that we're disconnected?
Oh dear.
Yeah, they know because there was a message on for that they were working on it.
Okay. What's everybody doing for the new year? My wife's family is coming over tonight. We're in Missouri, so they're coming over at 6 for dinner.
Okay, what time is it now?
Here, we're an hour behind, so it's 5:14.
Okay.
Where in Missouri are you?
It's called Maplewood. It's right like near St. Louis.
St. Louis suburb, okay.
Mm-hmm.
We have
Yeah.
family there.
Serving for dinner.
Oh, I made a really good polenta, kale, white bean soup with cheese.
Oh.
Smells really good. With thyme. Delicious.
Sounds really good.
Yeah, really good. Come over, Leslie. You can come over. Anybody can come over.
It sounds like a road trip. Might take a while, though.
Yeah.
Oh, Temple Sinai is the host now.
Oh, well, that's a relief.
All right. Stacy, you could make it in like 14 hours.
Let there be love and understanding among us. Let peace and friendship be our shelter from life's storms. Adonai, help us to walk with good companions, to live with hope in our hearts and eternity in our thoughts, that we may lie down in peace and rise up waiting to do your will. Baruch atah Adonai, haporei sukkah shalom aleinu, v'al kol amo Yisrael, v'al Yerushalayim.
Please join me with V'shamru. V'shamru Israel et ha-Shabbat, לעשות את השבת לדורותם ברית עולם. ביני ובין בני ישראל אותי לעולם לעולם. כששת ימים עשה אדוני את השמיים ואת הארץ, וביום השביעי שבת וינפש. Turn to page 164. For tefillah, if you're able to stand, please, I'll invite you to stand. This is the center of our tefillah, the center of our service. In the Jewish tradition, when we start tefillah, we make 3 steps back, and then we make 3 steps in. Anybody knows why we're doing that? Tefillah is one of the ancient prayers, and there are so many petitions in this prayer, and there are many praises in this prayer. So before we approach God to ask Him for something, we first step back, and then we get closer to God. So that's the 3 steps back, and then 3 steps in. Please join me. Adonai sefatei tiftahu fi yagi tehilatecha. Adonai, open up my lips, that my mouth may declare your praise. Baruch atah Adonai, Eloheinu v'Elokei avotenu v'imotenu, Elohei Abraham, Elohei Yitzchak, Elohei Yaakov, Elohei Sarai, Elohei Rivka, Elohei Rachel, Elohei Leah, El Haggadah, Hagibor v'Hanora, El Elyon, Gomel Chasadim Tovim, V'Koneh HaKol, V'Zocher Hasdei Avot v'Imachot, מביא גאולה לבני בניהם למען שמו באהבה. מלך עוזר ומושיע ומגן, ברוך אתה אדוני, מגן אברהם ועזרת שרה. אתה גיבור לעולם אדוני, מחיי הכל אתה רב להושיע. משיב הרוח ומוריד חג השם, מחלקי חיים בחסד, מחיי הכל ברחמים רבים, סומך נופלים ורופא חולים, ומתיר אסורים, ומקיים אמונתו, לשני עפר, מי כמוך בגבורות, ומי דומה לך, מלך ממית ומחיה, ומצמיח ישוע, ונאמן עד היות הכל, ברוך אתה אדוני, מחיה הכל. אתה קדוש ושמך קדוש, וקדושים בכל יום יהללוך סלע. ברוך אתה אדוני, האל הקדוש. And please be seated.
On page 173. Disturb us, Adonai, ruffle us from our complacency. Make us dissatisfied with the peace of ignorance, the quietude which arises from a shunning of the horror, the defeat, the bitterness, and the poverty, physical and spiritual, of humans. Shock us, Adonai, deny to us the false Shabbat which gives us the delusions of satisfaction amid a world of war and hatred. Wake us, O God, and shake us from the sweet and sad poignancies rendered by half-forgotten melodies and rubric prayers of yesteryears. Make us know that the border of the sanctuary is not the border of living, and the walls of your temples are not shelters from the winds of truth, justice, and reality. Disturb us, O God, and vex us. Let not your Shabbat be a day of torpor and slumber. Let it be a time to be stirred and spurred to action. Baruch atah Adonai Mekayem HaShabbat. You are with us in our prayer, our love, and our doubt, in our longing to feel your presence and do your will. You are the still, clear voice within us. Therefore, O God, when doubt troubles us, when anxiety makes us tremble, when pain clouds the mind, we look inward for the answer to our prayers. There may we find you, and there find courage, insight, and endurance. And let our worship bring us closer to one another, that all Israel and all who seek you may find new strength for your service. Baruch atah Adonai she'cha levad v'yireh na'avor. God of goodness, we give thanks for the gift of life, wonder beyond words, for the awareness of soul, our light within, for the world around us so filled with beauty, for the richness of the earth, which day by day sustains us. For all these and more, we give thanks. Baruch atah Adonai, hatov shimcha lecha na'al lahodot.
Please join me with Shalom Rav, the next page. Shalom Rav Yisrael Amcha, Nesiv Le'olam. Shalom Rav Yisrael Amcha, Nesiv Le'olam. Ki ata melech adon, lechol ha'shalom. Ki take a few moments for silent prayer. Shalom bimrama, koyase shalom aleinu, ve'al kol Yisrael, v'imeru amen. Ose shalom bimrama, koyase shalom aleinu. Together, Shalom Bimrama. Shalom Aleinu. ועל כל ישראל ויאמרו אמן. עושה שלום במרומו ויעשה שלום עלינו. ועל כל ישראל ויאמרו אמן. ויאמרו This moment in our service, we turn to those who are in need of healing, healing of body and healing of spirit. On page 371 will join in singing of Mishaberach. Before we sing Mishaberach, I would like to mention the names of our community, people who are in need of healing, healing of body and healing of spirit. Shana Esther Batruchel, Sarah Badavraham Vesara, Alan Skirker, Laura Brun, Stephen Brandt, Rini Feingold, Irving Manis, Susan Sultan Tobias, Kim Stengel de Lizzle, Gabriel Berger, Brian Mansfield, Michael Shartok, Pat Connor, Rick Siltera, Miriam Nemetz, Casey Zachman, Ali Goldsmith, Barbara Petro, Valerie Brownstein, Abigail Shimkanin, Liz Steinberg, Stephen Brieger, Claire Coyne, Linda Champion, Jackie Goldshine. And as my eyes meet your eyes, please say the name of the person who's in need of healing.
Mary Moss, Paulette Davis, Stacy French, Norma
And-
Silverman.
And those who are joining us digitally.
Megan Moore.
You can stand till the night falls.
Aaron Johnson,
We pray for speedy recovery as we join together on page 371 with Misha Bear. Misha Bear, Mekor Habraha, Leimotenu, may the source of strength, who bless the one before us, help us find the courage to make our lives a blessing, and let us say, Amen. Bisheberakimotenu, mekor habracha, lavotenu. Bless those in need of healing, with refuah shelema, the renewal of body, the renewal of spirit, and let us say, Amen. Well, on this New Year Shabbat, that doesn't happen very often, I would like to share about my Russian heritage, about my New Year tree. Why is the Russian New Year celebration, and especially the New Year tree, so special? Why do they evoke such emotional memories? And why do Russian Jews, after immigrating to America, still put up a new Year tree, and stay up all night celebrating their New Year? Typical of many children growing up in Kiev in the 70s, I loved New Year's Eve. If there was a time during the year that a Soviet child got to eat red caviar, it was on the night of the New Year. However, my favorite tradition was the yolka. Yolka in Russian means the New Year tree. The smell of the tree, the toys, the blinking of the lights. This was the day my sister and I looked forward to the whole year. Does it sound like Christmas to you? Well, that's because it was kind of Christmas. More than a century ago, Christmas in Russia was pretty much like Christmas in the United States. It was complete with decorated trees and family celebrations, but all of that changed with the Russian Revolution. The government banned the celebration of Christmas and eliminated the Christmas tree. In fact, the celebration of all religious holidays was prohibited. However, during Stalin's rule, one of the leaders in Stalin's government suggested resurrecting the tradition for the children. And Stalin agreed, restoring the tree as a central feature of the Soviet New Year celebration. As a result, the New Year became a secular, public, non-communist celebration. All Jews and non-Jews would put up a New Year tree. And if they don't do so, then they would be questioned and fall under suspicion for political reasons. Our family was no different from others. We spent the months of December anticipating what all Soviet children looked forward to, a magical night with Ded Moroz. Ded Moroz means Grandfather Frost, and his granddaughter, Snegurочка, meaning snow maiden. Every year, sometime around December 28th, my father brought home a pine tree, yolka in Russian. He filled the bucket with water, put on top a small coffee table, and secured it with a rope. He then climbed on a small ladder, reached into the storage space under the ceiling, and took out the box full of ornaments. Fairy tale characters, painted pine cones, pears, carrots, and a space shuttle with a USSR sign. All of them made in Soviet Union. First, we would hang the ornaments, then the lights, and then my father affixed the Kremlin, like red star, to the top of the tree. We used cotton that my grandmother brought from the clinic where she worked as a doctor. We placed the cotton on the table under the tree to cover the bucket. Cotton represented the snow, and I threw small pieces over the branches. Finally, we placed 2 dolls under the tree, Ded Moroz, which is Grandfather Frost, and his granddaughter, Snegurочка, which is a snow maiden. Once the tree was up, the smell of the pine tree dominated the living room, and we all knew the New Year season had arrived to our house. New Year's Eve was our grandest holiday. It was like a glimmer of light in the midst of dark winter. People walking on gloomy streets suddenly were smiling and wishing each other Happy New Year. The new year brought a promise of something special: gifts, clementines, black caviar, smoked fish, all the goodies. Everything was very festive, and every home had yolka, a tree. On December 31st, the entire family gathered together to say goodbye to the old year. We dressed in our best clothes and prepared the elaborate meal of roast duck stuffed with apples, herring, salad olivier, a beet salad, caviar, and more. My mother baked our favorite cake, Napoleon. We drank cognac and vodka and watched movies about the New Year celebration, a Soviet-era classic films. Although we saw those movies year after year, we laughed every time. We spent the night celebrating until 3 a.m. or further. In November 1993, we left the Soviet Union and settled in South Orange, New Jersey. Upon our arrival to the United States, we continued to celebrate New Year's Eve, although it no longer left the same. It no longer felt the same. There was no Russian TV station, and there was no New Year tree, Новогодняя елка. In America, the tree wasn't Новогодняя елка. It was a Christmas tree, and we were Jewish. We were told the trees in America are for Christmas, and Jews don't celebrate Christmas. As Soviet Jews, my family knew little about Judaism. Our passports said that we were Jewish, but our religious knowledge ended with eating matzah and bread for Passover at the same time. My grandparents' generation was the last one to link Jewishness with faith. My parents and I simply knew that it was a line in our documents that made us the target of Russian anti-Semitism. In the United States, we wanted to learn how to be Jewish. We were welcomed and resettled by the Jewish community of the conservative congregation in South Orange, New Jersey. And it was then I decided to become a cantor. And soon I was accepted to Hebrew Union College and spent my first year in Jerusalem. That year in Jerusalem completed my transformation as a Jew. When I became a cantor, I embraced Jewish life and Jewish tradition. With Jewish knowledge came the observance and understanding of our religion. I married a German Jew. Oh, David just left just in time. I married a German Jew, and obviously, who never celebrated New Year the way we did, and never had a New Year tree in his life. At first, when we were dating, I brought my future husband, David, to a Russian party to celebrate the New Year with my Russian friends. I realized David didn't like staying up all night. He wasn't used to it, and it wasn't part of his heritage and culture. So that was the end of my New Year celebrations. And now we're blessed with two sons, Daniel and Jonathan. And I feel it's important for them to learn about the Russian culture and language. Ever since both of them turned 2 years old, they have attended a weekend Russian school in Baltimore. The Russian school is run by a Russian Jew, and the school educates the children in Russian culture and tradition, including New Year festivities with a New Year tree and music. So one day, Daniel came home from Russian school singing songs about New Year tree that I learned to sing in the Soviet Union as a little girl. It just felt very special and brought up nostalgic memories. As you can see, the New Year is a very important part of Russian culture, both for Russians and Russian Jews. Today, many Russian Jews in America put up a New Year tree that they buy on sale after December 25th. They don't associate these trees with Christmas. In fact, they have nothing to do with Christmas. They represent and are rooted in the Russian tradition and the past. It is something Russian Jews associate with their parents, grandparents, friends left behind, music, movies, and food. Most of all, the New Year tree is part of them. It reminds them who they are. As for me, I do reminisce and sometimes feel nostalgic about New Year celebration. During the New Year season, I do want to remember my childhood and take a walk among the white branches of snow and hear the snow crunching under my feet. Good thing I can do this in Rochester. Yeah. On the other hand, Jewish holidays and traditions have given me so much more that I do not miss the New Year celebration anymore. It has lost its meaning for me, and I no longer find it fulfilling. I do, however, watch Russian Soviet era movies with my husband and our children, with subtitles, obviously, during New Year Eve and day. And I still treasure the New Year photos of my childhood family and friends that we brought with us from Soviet Union. And I enjoy showing the pictures of the people that I grew up with in celebrations to my children and reflecting on childhood memories. Well, Shabbat Shalom and happy secular New Year. And for the record, we don't have a New Year tree in our house. We do not have. Let's turn to page 586. It's page 586 as we rise for Aleinu. Bayamahu, bayamahu, ושמו אחד. On this Shabbat, we remember those who passed away in the recent days. Jack Feldman, grandfather of Brian Feldman, Myrna Silver, stepmother of Seth Silver, Robert Pierce, brother of Mary Lolor, Olga Buzo, wife of Alexander Potapenko. We also remember Yortzeits that fall on the Shabbat. Marsha Baldwin, Carol Berman, Irene Bernhardt, Hilda Birnbaum, Edward Bryman, Gilbert Corris, Elliot Dicker, Sylvan Drews, Lillian Fain, Ray Goldstein, Kenner Goodman, Estelle Green, Harold Kai, Thomas Kulik, Arthur Long, Harry Olson, Madeline Paperno, Anna Catherine Price, Jared Reagan, Scott Rosenfeld, Harold Rubel, Alex Schneer, David Schwartz, Lou Sporn, Douglas Strodell, Gail Strodell, Beatrice Waldman, Ruth Warnick, Sylvia Wine, Sydney Yates. When my eyes meet your eyes, please say the name of the person if you're observing a Yortzeit tonight.
Tim Maines.
And those who are with us on Zoom. We turn to page 598 as we take to heart people whom we lost and whom we treasure, and recite together Kaddish Yatom, a monarch's Kaddish. Yit kadal ve'yit kadash shmei rabba, ve'alma divra hiruteh ve'amlich malchuteh, v'chayechonu v'yomechonu v'chayeh dechol beit Yisrael, ba'gala v'zman kariv ve'imru amen. Yehei shmei rabba mevorach le'olam olmei almaya. Yitbarach ve'ishtabach ve'itpa'ar ve'itramam ve'itnaseh. V'itadar ve'itale ve'italal shmei dekutsha brihu. Le'ela min kol birchata v'shirata. Tushpechata v'nechemata, damiran ve'alma ve'imru, amen. Yehei shlama rabba min shemaya, v'chayim aleinu ve'al kol Yisrael. Amen. Oseh shalom bimrama, hu yaseh shalom, aleinu ve'al kol Yisrael, ve'al kol Yoshvei Tevel. Ve'imru, amen.
Amen.
And the one who creates harmony on high, bring peace to us and all Israel. And we say together, amen. Please be seated. A few announcements tonight. Torah study on Zoom tomorrow, service at 10:30 in the morning in person, no Hebrew school on Sunday. Religious school resumes on Wednesday. And we have a guest speaker at 7 o'clock on Wednesday, perspective on policing, past, present, and future, Connor Dwyer Reynolds. You also can see on the website and snippets. Next Friday is Family Shabbat service, first Friday Family Shabbat service with birthday blessings. And we'll have the activity for children, a Zoomabil will be not only for children, adults are welcome to play with animals too. On next Saturday, Torah service on Zoom, Shabbat morning at 10:30. Sunday, religious school, sprouts, confirmation, the whole Megillah, Torah cantillation on Zoom only. Wednesday, I'll be starting to teach a class, Lunch and Learn, on January 12th. 4 classes will be Jewish stories, legends with me. Next Friday night at 5:30, we'll have a Bim Bam Shabbat, welcoming new families. We have a lot of new families with children, so we'll be welcoming them at the Children's Shabbat. And also next Friday, the following Friday, actually, the 14th, is MLK observance, and Shabbat Shira as well. Shabbat Shira is Shabbat of song. And the speaker, Marlo, what's the last name? The Reverend Marla, forgot the last name, will have a special speaker that night. Any other announcements? No? Well, I would like to thank Marlene for helping us tonight, and Branson for being a greeter, and all of you who join us. Without you, we would not have a service, so thank you for being here tonight. Let's turn to page, for the song Lo Yisagoy, it's, what is 645. Page, thank you, 645. Marlene's choice, so the song Lo Yisagoy, always appropriate. So please join us with the song Lo Yisagoy. Lo Yisagoy, goy lo yilmedu milchama, lo Yisagoy, goy lo yilmedu milchama. Lo Yisagoy, goy lo yilmedu milchama, lo Yisagoy, goy lo yilmedu milchama, lo Yisagoy, goy lo yilmedu milchama, lo Yisagoy, goy lo yilmedu milchama. And we're going to say the Motzi. We have a special honor that Marlene provided in honor of her cousin, observance of his yortzeit. And together we say Baruch Atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam hamotzi lechem min haaretz. Amen. And Marlene also brought the challah tonight, right? Thank you. Oh, feels so
I
fresh.
didn't bake it, but it's from Alex.
Well, Shabbat Shalom, and please join us for the honor, for the short honor, and just some schmoozing.